YouTube, what the crap's going on? HeirofCarthage here, back in Total War Warhammer 2. We are going to have a match today between the Dwarves and Clan Pestilence. Clan Pestilence just sounds dirty. Filthy rats. So we got some Quarrelers with great weapons up front. That's interesting. Don't see great weapons very often. It's usually a campaign pick. I'm not sure how useful they really come in multiplayer. Any of you used Quarrelers with great weapons to get success? Do you find any situations where they're very useful? Just kind of curious, and we'll watch here and see what happens. Dragonback Slayers, Standard Slayers. Let's see what else we got here in the line. Dwarf Warriors. Just Dwarf Warriors up the center, and we got Thorgrim, Grudge Bearer. And he is rocking the High King and the Great Book of Grudges. So watch out. He's got a grudging, folks, and he's serious about it. These Night Runners are going to come around the flank. Let's go check out what the Skaven have. We've also got the Goblobber here. Skaven actually have a ranged advantage because they've got 2 Warp Lightning Cannons, and I do think that, well, I don't know, man. Goblobber is really good at killing the leadership on stuff. Look at that. But the damage. Those Gutter Runners are going to be brutal against Slayers. They need to get into the woods. Ooh, there's the Quarrelers, though. Yeah, the Filthy Rats are good at a lot of things, but standoff skirmishing with the Dawi it's not really where these rats are going to find enjoyment in life. Check out these Assassins moving around the flank. That's kind of cool. Never seen the Assassins come be a support unit like this. Scurrying around with those poison blades. Gotta love you some Skaven. They were an interesting add to the game. I love their, like, steampunk vibe that they got going on. Like this filthy steampunk. They even look like they have like moss growing all over them in this case because of Clan Pestilence. Oh, he's got a Plague Claw catapult also. Woo! Man, that's some serious artillery from Clan Pestilence. That Grudge Thrower is gonna be pretty heavily outgunned. Just Clan Rats for a center, but the Rat Ogres are gonna provide some nice armor piercing. And then just some slaves up front, which is a good idea, especially if the dwarf player brings mining charges. Bring an expendable unit, literally expendable. You all have noticed this before. When a unit says expendable, you might wonder, well, what the heck does that mean? It just means that whenever they get destroyed by the enemy front lines, there's no, a lot of times when your units rout, it imparts a penalty to the surrounding units because, hey, if you were in a battle and you see all your friends running, you're not going to feel so good about life. But expendable just means that it doesn't matter if they get thrown away. It doesn't have a morale impact because the rest of the guys in your army are like, nah, that's what we brought them here for anyway. So, literally, a meat shield. These Slayers going after the Assassins. I don't think the Assassins would want this fight. Yeah, they're going to want to get away from that. Is that like a snare net working on these guys? It sure is. Man, those snare nets are annoying. I didn't know the Assassins had them. They sure do, Scurry. Well, no, hang on. Where's snare net? Trophy heads? I don't see it. Was it from this unit? It may have been from this unit here. So Slayers are going to get into these Gutter Runners. Again, I would think Slayers are going to be perfectly happy with... Oh, that Rival Hide, though. That's going to hurt. That is going to hurt. Shameful display. That's not how you say it.
Shameful display!
Get it right, you filthy rat. Oh man, that might be the most classic line from any Total War game. Here comes the Runesmith. I wouldn't think the Runesmith really actually wants to get involved with these 2 Assassins. Yeah, the Assassins don't have armor piercing, but still, I wouldn't... Wow, he put a beat down on that guy right there. So the Assassins definitely lack armor. Check out, look at the artillery duel. I mean, the Dwarves they're taking a bit of a shellacking in this artillery fight. The Goblobber did a lot of damage over here, but this Warp Lightning Cannon's still up. It's hard to take down Skaven artillery from a distance. It's good. It can be done, but it's good. Dragonback Slayers and the Runesmith still fighting away here, and that's... I mean, the Assassins are putting up a heck of a fight, but they're not winning it. Putting up a fight and winning a fight is 2 different things here. lot of green going on in this blob right now. Yeah, one assassin down. Still very strange to see that runesmith really single himself out like that, though. There goes the goblobber. It's down. Look at these rat ogres making a wide flank. Be interesting to see what the clan pestilence player has in store there. Those rat ogres are a very serious threat. And that artillery is really going to punish these quarrelers who are overlapped a little bit. This just becomes a fantastic target. Skaven slaves are not really worth their time. Especially to get yourself blobbed up like this. Look at that. Woo! Yeah, pump those tiny dwarven legs. Yikes! That's Skaven artillery. I don't know that the Skaven have the best artillery, but they got some good artillery. It can be quite effective in the right scenarios. Yeah, the runesmith's making his way back up here. He needs to do that quickly before these rat ogres get... Oh! Look at that. Look at that. Nice play by the Skaven. Nice play. Second line of clan rats is here, just throwing in all the Skaven slaves first, which I'm not really sure I understand the purpose of that. You might as well blob them with everything you got. Let's see. Yeah, it's not going to do any damage to dwarves. That magic doesn't have good armor piercing. So the Gracie not real effective against the dwarven units. Here comes the clan rats, also kind of just being blobbed in here, which is going to give the dwarves a very favorable fight. These dwarf warriors have high armor, they have a shield, they don't have much attack, but what in the world is clan rats going to do against dwarf warriors? Nothing. That's what. The best chance here for Skaven is to capitalize on this blob. They really need to get the rat ogres in behind here. And the rat ogres are forgotten in the woods for now. If the rat ogres had been here, and let's say that the clan rats and the slaves held and created this blob, boom, rat ogres from behind, that dwarf infantry line would have gotten wrecked, and it would have happened very quickly. Warp Lightning's good. It's okay. He's getting a few kills out of it. It's not going to be crazy effective here, though. I mean, the Skaven player must have just gotten lost there for a minute. Because a huge mistake with these rat ogres. They were needed so badly in this fight. And they can still be useful. There's still some Skaven infantry holding the line. But over here, the Slayers have run all the way back here, and they're going to start taking out some of the artillery, but, I mean, most of the artillery has already fired its shots. 47, 69, 31 kills. There is a Skaven slave back there that regrouped. Little good that will do them against Slayers. Let's see what happens with the rat ogres. The rat ogres need to get over here and clean up the infantry fight. They also are going to have to be concerned about the quarrelers. But if they get too focused on the quarrelers, the dwarf infantry is going to slowly and surely cut down the Skaven. The Grumbling Guard especially. They don't need their armor piercing, but the Grumbling Guard is going to make short work of Skaven. Unless it was something pretty serious. And then Thorgrim himself is a huge threat to the Skaven right now too. He's pretty good against these infantry blobs. The lightly armored stuff like this. So again, the rat ogres come over here and start going for quarrelers. Surprisingly, these quarrelers are not firing at the rat ogres. One unit is. These rat ogres are very, very susceptible to stuff like quarrelers. Look at them throwing the dwarves around back here. Let's watch what happens. Here comes the ogres. Let's see what they're doing. I mean, this is still a bit of a dwarf blob over here. I don't know how in the world it's happening. Oh man, this Gracie. Oh, grudges will be reckoned. That Gracie is not going to want anything to do with Thorgrim. The High King is going to take out many grudges on his filthy rat hide. Yeah, I mean, look at that Gracie. He's like, no thanks. And that's going to be the end of the infantry because the Gracie had to run off. So rat ogres are going to sit here and blob through these quarrelers. There are some regrouped infantry units, but some dwarf warriors back here wrecking these units. Some Slayers over here wrecking these units. The Skaven are they're in a bad spot. The rat ogres are armor piercing and it's nice, but I don't know how the rat ogres can deal with Thorgrim, the runesmith, and all this infantry. Just don't see it happening. They have the armor piercing, which is great, They would have to try and cycle charge somehow. They need some infantry really to kind of hold the dwarves long enough for them to get some good charges and do their work. So let's see what happens. Comes the rat ogres. Fast forward a little bit more here. These slayers are loose and they're gonna be, oh, they're chasing the Grey Seer. This is bad. Oh yeah, I mean yeah. Grey Seer's in some serious doo-doo here if he can't get away. He barely gets away, and it's not gonna be for long because these slayers are gonna make short work of these rats. But I mean, he's got to do anything he can to protect the Grey Seer at this point. The rat ogres are gonna blob attack. Let's see if it works out. Can sometimes work depending on the situation. So focused all their attack on this one dwarf warrior, and then they're gonna move on. At least they need to move on because they're gonna start taking a tremendous amount of damage. And there's the rune of Wrath and Ruin, which is gonna actually slow down some of the rat ogres. Oh, the slayers right there to meet him. Those rat ogres can charge the slayers, but then they need to get out of there while they're on the ground. Because the slayers, definitely not what the rat ogres want to be fighting. Okay, so let's kind of see how this plays out here. So the Skaven player is definitely attempting a little bit of cycle charge right now. And it worked to an extent, but now these quarrelers are up here. And the rat ogres, I believe, are just going to kind of get picked apart before they can really do all the damage they need to do. Definitely a threatening pack of ogres here, but too late, I think, is their usage. Used earlier on in this battle, I think that they probably would have turned the whole thing around. But it looks to me like the dwarves are going to walk away with this one. Let's see. The power bar still says it's close. But I just don't think the rat ogre's leadership. Yeah, there it goes. There's the Grey Seer putting a last lightning strike in there at the warp lightning. He got 60 kills. That's pretty respectable for a Grey Seer. There we go. Yeah, the Dawi are going to take this one home. Grudges, we're settled. Whoa! This wasn't even in the laboratory either. Thorgrim just absolutely KO'd that Grey Seer. Those dwarves are eating lead for breakfast or something to get mass like that. Boom! Rudensmith. That is one dead Grey Seer. And that's the end of the Skaven, folks. Fun battle. Fun battle. Appreciate it being submitted by Sentenza, sorry. And then 10946400586. That's a very interesting name there. It's like a government ID or something. In any case, thanks for playing, guys. It was fun. I do think that if 109 here would have gotten his rat ogres in sooner, I think he takes this battle home. Because his infantry held long enough for these guys to do tremendous damage in rear charges. And I think that basically he should have just kept all the gutter runners and stuff back. Let that artillery do its work in the beginning. You had it made. And then when they come forward, hit them with everything all at once. Gutter runners are after the quarrelers, right? They can take them, I don't know if they can take them in melee or not, but they can certainly keep them busy, get up close to them and keep them busy. Rat ogres can then ignore the quarrelers, immediately rear charge all the infantry. Dwarf infantry gets absolutely busted up, and you kind of go from there, right? I guess that's how you try and take it down. But great game, fun one. Nice grudge match. Hope you all enjoyed this one. Appreciate MSI sponsoring the channel. Thank you all for being here. If you want to see more battles, make sure to subscribe because I'm going to have more coming your way. But I do hope to see you next time and hope you have a good night. HeirofCarthage, signing out.